Hey everybody, Prepper Nurse One here. How's everybody doing tonight? I hope everybody's well. We'll give it a few minutes before so people can get in here before we get on topic. But we're going to be talking about why we're not hearing more in the news media and coverage on these child predators, basically. And we're going to get into a whole bunch of them, and one of them just got off today. So imagine that. So we're going to talk about all those type of things, and this isn't something that's new. This is something that's been going on forever and a day. But it's something that needs to be talked about, needs to be put out front, because I think it's really, really important. And we're going to get into that whole thing here in just a minute, okay? But so we had rain pretty much all day here at the homestead today. It's not raining at the moment, but it was definitely a good day for rain here. So I said to Heather, I was joking around with her. I said, well, I guess we don't have to water the garden tonight. But it's okay. It happens. So, all right. So let's get into our topic, okay? So we're going to start out. Actually, I was going to start out in another direction, but we're going to start out someplace else. We're going to start out with Kevin Spacey, okay? Charges against him were just dismissed because the witness would not collaborate and go into details and stuff, even though, now this is what I find interesting. This kid took cell phone videos of what was going on with Kevin Spacey, how Kevin Spacey was feeling this kid up, and he was texting with his friends and stuff while Kevin Spacey was doing all this, and of course he was underage at the time. But so they bring charges against Kevin Spacey, and it comes out that, other people came out that he'd been, abused underage boys other than this young man. And so they get ready to go to trial, and all of a sudden they can't find the video footage. Things have been erased, and it's a complete BS game. And, it gets swept under the rug. So somebody who's in a celebrity status, and I'm going to tell you what, as an actor, I love Kevin Spacey. Thought he was a freaking phenomenal actor. If you saw him in K-pop, those type of movies, just a phenomenal actor. But, that doesn't give him an excuse to act the way he does behind the scenes, and that he goes after young boys. I have an issue with anybody going after young kids, okay? What two consenting adults do, I don't care what they do. But if it's underage children, I absolutely have an issue with it. So, but anyway, so we're talking about child predators, honey, in Hollywood, the power elite, and all type of stuff today. Those people, yes.
Those Travis.
Yes, exactly. So, well, the main person that I actually wanted to talk about, which you haven't really heard a whole lot of news coverage since this all happened, was Jeffrey Epstein, okay? Now, this is his second time being charged with, okay, so we're going to talk, he's already an alleged, I love how they say that, he's an alleged pedophile that has been arrested before. This is his second time with charged with sex trafficking minors, obviously underage girls, okay? Right, Law and Order Prepper just said Michael Jackson was also a great talent, but a sick, demented pedophile too. Absolutely. There's absolutely no doubt. I mean, that has all come out with him as well. But, this Jeffrey Epstein, because of his power and wealth, has gotten away with so much. Got a sweetheart deal when down in Florida. And, it's the whole thing is sick. These people are just absolutely sick. And they get away with this because they have power, influence, and money. You look at Harvey Weinstein. Okay, there's another one. He used his position to get young ladies to do things that they didn't want to do, because if he didn't, then he would blackball them. I mean, it's just absolutely disgusting. Look at all the young men and young women in Hollywood who have come out talking about, the pedophilia ring basically in Hollywood. And if they came out like that, what happens? They get shot down. They're discredited because maybe they're on drugs or something like that. Would you ever think that maybe these kids were on drugs because of what was being done to them? You got to understand something. When it comes to that type of thing with pedophilia, is that victim is affected for the rest of their life. Okay, and the thing that really drives me absolutely insane is child molesters get a slap on the wrist, they're put back out on the street, and they're put back out on the street, and they're basically told stay away from kids. Okay, you look at and you know, and I'm not going to go after just any one religion, but I'm going to use the Catholic Church for an example as a moment. You look at the Catholic Church and how they knew that certain priests were molesting the altar boys and stuff like that. And what did they do? They went around and covered it up, pretended it didn't happen. The Boy Scouts, too, happened a lot in the Boy Scouts. These people that do this type of thing are very, very slick. They put themselves in positions of power, positions of authority. Look at the number of teachers, both female and male, who have been caught, having sex with underage children. And, it's absolutely amazing to me. Absolutely amazing. And it just, a lot of the times it gets swept. And here's the thing, too. Now, if a man is a teacher, gets caught having sex with an underage girl, he's a horrible villain, a horrible person. But if a female teacher gets caught, and here's a double standard again, guys. Female teacher gets caught having sex with an underage boy, especially if she's good looking. Oh, well, it's not that bad type of thing. But it's the same freaking thing. They're putting themselves in a position where they can be close to vulnerable teenagers. And we all know there's a lot of kids in the high schools that have a lot of issues. And, it just, it's something that happens continuously. And it's very, very sick. I will never be an actor in Harry Weird. Yeah. Yeah, it's just, there's a lot of sick stuff going on that is being swept under the carpet, that's not being talked about. This Jeffrey Epstein, he should be all over the news, okay? Another one is R. Kelly, guys. They just put him in jail. And this is another thing which kills me, too. They just put him in jail. Hey, Preppernick, Trump may be a hidden sexual predator. You know what? I don't know. I mean, you're always going to have speculation. Just because somebody knows somebody that's doing something doesn't mean that they are. So here, okay, if you want to try to go with that example, let's use something like that, okay? Because you hang out with, let's say you have 2 or 3 friends that are homosexual. You're not, but you have 2 or 3 friends that you hang out with that are homosexual, and you go out and you hang out with them. Now, are you a homosexual too because you hang out with them? A lot of times people will associate you with who you hang out with, and they will judge you because of that. So that's something to think about too before we jump to the conclusions with Trump there. But anyway, and I'm not defending Trump. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I could care less either. Well, no, not that I could care less, but Trump is just, nothing has been proven. And he's been accused of everything under the sun. So I'm just kind of tired of the constant attack, constantly about Trump. It gets really, really old. But yeah, Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton's a sick son of a gun too, and but another one, like I said, with R. Kelly. R. Kelly's in jail right now without bail. But here's the thing that killed me with that: they had videotape of him having sex with underage girls. Excuse me. Why did it take so long for them to finally put him in jail? I mean, he went on TV and said, "Oh, I didn't do it. I'm being railroaded," and blah blah blah. They had concrete proof with him. Okay. Michael Jackson was another one that, they had all, I'm sorry if I'm a parent and, my kid's a big fan of Michael Jackson, let's say, and he says, he wants us to come out and hang out at Neverland Ranch. Okay, that's fine. But my kid ain't going to go in the room and sleep with Michael Jackson. It's not going to happen. Okay. So a lot of that goes on the parents allowing that to happen. And some of those parents, I think, were looking for a payday. So, but, yeah, but it's, there's a lot of stuff that's going on. Yes, we just talked about Kevin Spacey. And like I said, he just got away with it. So those things happen all the time. So why do you think a lot of people don't come forward and don't say, this happened to me? Because they get discredited, their character is besmudged, and, the person that did that to them a lot of times gets away with it. These priests that did that for years and years and years, and they moved them from parish to parish to parish, and they continue to do it. It just, these things. Okay, so here was, I was going to make another point that really, really bothers me. So, hey, Mountain Girl, how you doing? The homestead is looking good, PN1. Thank you very much. It's coming along a little slow right now because of freaking the rain and the bugs and the heat, but it's we're getting there. We're getting things accomplished, and thank you very much for that donation. I appreciate that. But one of the things that really, really bothers me, you get caught with a certain amount of marijuana, and let's say, okay, you're going to get 10 years. You're going to get 10 years for that. But a pedophile who goes after little kids, little girls, or little boys, and it is said that a pedophile will affect no less than 300 victims in their lifetime. Okay, so let's say they get caught for sleeping with 3, 4 little boys or girls, and they go to trial and they convict them on 1 or 2. Okay, so they put them in jail. They give them like 5 years or whatever. They're going to get out on good behavior in a very short period of time, and then they're right back on the street doing the same thing that they did before. They have so many level 3, and the level 3s are ones that they know will reoffend on the streets all over the place right now. If you look it up, guys, you can see who the sex offenders are in your neighborhood. You can see it. They have a record of everything, okay? So, but again, so what's going on with all these, like, okay, so we're talking about earlier in my video today about the distractions and stuff like that going on. I mean, do you think that it's important that they have this focus on Area 51 and people storming Area 51 should be ahead of the news coverage of what else is going on around the world? I mean, how crazy is that? I mean, it's absolutely crazy. We're not going to talk about the fact that the farmers in the Midwest and in the central United States were devastated with floods and stuff this year, and a lot of them didn't even get their crops in. And a lot of them got their crops in really, really late. So the production of food for this country and other countries around the world is down. We're not going to talk about that. We're not going to talk about the heat wave that's hitting India and, and is decimating that country. We're not going to talk about that, These things, it's like, it amazes me that these are the things that they're going to talk about. This, the tweet that Trump said, and now I had people. Now this is funny too. So here's what happens. Okay, so we're going to talk about this real quick too. So here's what happens. So yesterday's video I put up, and I want to thank YouTube because after we got to the 8-hour mark yesterday, they only did not count views for 2 hours. Okay, or the day before. The day before it was only 2 hours. Yesterday's video, when we got to the 8-hour mark, they stopped counting views for 4 hours. That's their normal pattern. You get to 8 hours, and then for the next 4 hours, they record no views of your videos. Even though people are making comments, liking it, and stuff like that, they're not recording those views. So that's one of the games that YouTube plays. Now, the other game that YouTube plays is like they did today. I put my video up, and as soon as I put my video up, I lost 5 subscribers the minute I put my video up, okay? Not even time for people to really watch the video yet, but boom, right away. And since then, I've lost several more subscribers since then. Now, one of the things I had somebody message me and said that they unsubscribed because, and I love this. This is what I think is funny. Don't think for yourselves. Please don't do that. Just listen to what the media has to say. Because I would not say that the tweet that Trump made was a racist, horrible tweet. Well, it wasn't. There was nothing racist in his tweet. He said, go back to your country of origin, fix that first, and then come back here and tell us how to do it right. He mentioned no race, nothing like that. So how is that racist? I just think it is really, really ridiculous. Yeah, you've been on 73,000 forever. That's not right. You're right. And it's like, here, that's the other thing that they did, and that's been about 2 months now. I was at 73,000 or almost at 73,000 at that point. I was getting like 100 new subscribers every single day. All of a sudden, it was like, boom, the brakes went on. I started losing subscribers. I had a lot of my subscribers tell me that they've been unsubscribed when they didn't do it. And that happens all the time now, okay? They cut down on my views so they don't have to pay me as much, which is another game that's being played. I mean, people say, oh, they got these new algorithms. Well, does the algorithm freeze your views so that you don't get credit for the number of views you've had on a video? I'd like to know what algorithm that is. It's just, there's a lot of games, a lot of games. Finally got over 73,000, and I think I've hit 73,400 twice. And now I'm back to, I think, 73,381, I believe. But it's just a lot of games that's going on. Like I said, if you're watching and you're not subscribed, please subscribe. And make sure you hit that bell icon so you get your notifications. There is a survey YouTube put out and the videos people don't want to see. If your channel doesn't fall into that chosen category, they automatically become unsubscribed. Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, but it's just, but they shouldn't unsubscribe people if people subscribe to a channel and just blatantly unsubscribe somebody. That shouldn't be done. That's not how it's supposed to be freedom of choice, and we get to watch what we want. But obviously, there is a lot of politics with that as well. But, it's just part of the games that go on, guys, and it's never going to change. Guys, if you haven't shot me a thumbs up yet, if you would do that, I would appreciate that. And so I did want to mention a couple things while I was thinking about it, and we'll get these out of the way now, and we'll get them out of the way. We are doing the Prepper Get-Together August 17th at Letchworth State Park in New York, and it's going to be at Eddie's Pavilion. It's EDDYS Pavilion. The information I have on my Facebook page, my Prepper Nurse 1 Facebook page, the event is on there, so if you want to go look at that information, anybody's invited to come. More than welcome to come. I'm going to be providing hot dogs and hamburgers. Little Prepper lady said she's going to provide paper plates, some, the plastic forks and spoons and stuff like that. And then also she's going to provide pop. So if you want something to drink, then, bring your own booze type of thing. And we ask that you bring a dish to pass. So, that's, we ask you to do that. So one of the things, guys, I'm gonna ask people in here is please be respectful of each other. No racist stuff. I've seen several different things about anti-Jew stuff. Please don't do that. I don't want that on my channel. If you don't like Jews, that's great. That's your prerogative. You don't have to like Jews. I don't really care if you like them or not. But, please just be respectful of everybody else. Very family-oriented channel. So I just ask people to be respectful, okay? Another thing is they were just at a big thing where they were doing there was a 2-day sale with Legacy. And so they were doing truth is hate to those who hate truth. Well, I'm just asking you not to make any racist comments on here, Barry White. And you're one of the ones that were making comments. So please just don't do it. If you have a channel and you want to be anti-Jewish or whatever, knock yourself out. I mean, go on your own channel and spew whatever hatred you would like. That is your prerogative. But I'm asking you to be respectful on my channel and not do that. So that's all, So anyway, so if you got to, guys, just go ahead and block Barry White because obviously he doesn't want to play nice. Okay, he's gone. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate that. It's about respect, guys. Like I said, if you hate anybody of any color, that is absolutely your prerogative. And like I said, I don't care because it doesn't, make it who I am, but I'm not going to have it on my channel. I like everybody. I treat people decently, regardless of color, regardless of sexual orientation, regardless of, what religion they are. I don't care. If you're cool with me, I'm going to be cool with you. And that's the way I just kind of do it. So, but anyway, so let's get back on topic here. But anyway, so the other thing I wanted to mention, so we're going to be doing that August 17th. Everybody's welcome to come. So I look forward to meeting everybody if you want to come to that. Please bring a dish to pass, okay? Second thing I wanted to mention really quickly is we are, bye-bye, Barry, exactly. So the other thing I wanted to mention, so Mike and I were talking today, and they were doing a 2-day sale they did like Monday and Tuesday, and we did not take part of that 2-day sale. But what we decided to do, instead of just giving you guys 2 days, we decided to extend it out. And so we're doing it till the 28th, I believe. And then I actually just had somebody ask if we could do it past the 1st, so when they got paid again. So I think I'm going to talk to Mike, and you hear me, Mike. We're going to probably extend that sale a little bit. But we're doing 20% off of everything on the website just for everybody. If you want to get some stickers, if you want to get a coffee mug, if you want to get a T-shirt, okay, or if you want to add to your freeze-dried food with Legacy, we're doing 20% off everything on the website. So just go to my website, preppernurse1.com, and you will see that there, okay? So the other thing I wanted to mention before we get back on topic is the Prepper Nurse 1 community that we have on the website, which is totally free to join, doesn't cost you guys anything. If you're looking to hook up with like-minded people, You can come on there, register, see what's going on. You cannot see anything if you are not registered, so it's very private. If you're looking to meet with like-minded people, if you want to try to form a group in your state, go in there and oh, some like, there you go. If Barry's back, we got to get rid of him again. That's all. He started a new thing. We're just not going to play these games, guys. Listen, again, I'm just going to ask everybody to be respectful. Okay. Hey, L. Gibson. Sexual perversion has been going on since the dawn of time. As long as money talks and Hollywood rules, morals will keep traveling through the sewers. Ancient cities fell due to falling morals. You know what? I agree with you 100%. When you have people, and thank you for that donation, I appreciate that. When you have people in power and they get bored, and so they want to have something that is taboo or that they shouldn't have, there's a lot of people in positions of power in Washington, D.C. that are into hardcore S&M. Again, between two consenting adults, I have no problem with it, but I don't get it. Not my thing. To each their own. But a lot of people, they have those different. Listen here. Let me just put this out there, and I'm going to be 100% honest with you. Everybody has their kink. Okay. Everybody's got a kink, and I don't care who you are. And if you say no, not me, everybody's got a kink. Okay. So there might be something that you like or you don't like or whatever. Everybody has their own flavor. And there's nothing wrong with that as long as it's two consenting adults. When you have people that are in positions of power and use that power to go after children, there's where the issue is. You are look at the situations that happen in, you look at the situations that happen in foster care, the number of children that are abused in foster homes. And I have seen that firsthand with kids that I knew that it happened to. Okay. So it's sick. It is sick. Now, I'm going to tell you what. The young girls today, guys, they may look fantastic. They may look a lot older than they are. But if you know that they are a certain age, it's hands off. I mean, you can't do it. You just can't do it. I always said that there was no piece of A out there that was so hot that I had to have that was worth going to jail for. There's just not. And that's just my mentality on it. I don't care how hot the chick is, 15, 16 years old. No way. I'm not touching it. Okay. Because, unless if you are of age and you're 18 or older, but I'm not into 18-year-old girls. Okay. So, I mean, I'm just using that as an example. Once somebody turns 18 and you are legally an adult, have at it, do what you want to do. Okay. I like women my own age. I like somebody when I have a conversation with and I talk about the 80s, they know what I'm talking about. So that's just me. I mean, that's just how I am. So I like somebody on my own level. It's once you get older, I've seen some very successful marriages with a 20+ year age difference, but they met when they were both older. They didn't meet as little kid, where he was, 35 and she was 15. That's not how, that those ones don't work. So no one should be abused. Start there. You know what, Ruth? You're absolutely correct. Nobody should be abused. Again, it's just we live in a society where these type of people, rapists and child molesters, they get off lightly. Now, maybe not so much rapists, but child molesters get off very, very lightly, and it shouldn't be that way. Mick Jagger is dating a 25-year-old. Well, that's all about that, Greg. That's all about that in her eyes, because I'm going to tell you what. Have you seen Mick Jagger? Mick Jagger was never a good-looking man, ever. I mean, that's just the reality of that. Mick Jagger was never a good-looking man, and now he's in his 70s. So, I mean, he didn't age well. I'll just say that too. But again, those things happen, and a lot of women, they're attracted to power, money, and so they, that's why you see some of these absolute smoke shows with, creepy old men, because they're looking for somebody to take care of them. That happens a lot. It really does. What are you going to do? Yeah, no 25-year-old is in love with somebody in their 70s. It's always about money in that situation. Anna Nicole Smith is another great example of that. I mean, he was in his 90s or his late 80s when she married him. I mean, she married, for money as well. But I know a couple that there was, I think it was like 30 years difference in their age. I think, or maybe it was 25. And they got married. They were married over 30 years. And the last I know, he's still alive. They were still married. So, and they had kids together and everything. So, sometimes that happens. But the reality is if you have a girl that is 22, 23 years old and she is somebody who is, 55, 60 years old, she's probably in it for the money. And that's, because it's just the way it is. But what are you going to do? So, but, yeah, our society is definitely interesting. But I think that, personally, if there is absolute 100% proof that somebody has molested a child and that they've done it, they should be put to death. That's my thing. Because I guarantee you what, the only way that you stop a child molester from molesting children is put a bullet in their head. It is the only way you stop them from doing that. There's no other way. It's a sickness. There is no cure for it. And so that's, and like I said, you eliminate the problem. You shouldn't coddle them like we do in our society. Look in your registries in your areas, okay? You will be shocked at the number of pedophiles that are out there. Now, I will say this, guys. The 18-year-old kid who was banging his 16-year-old girlfriend, and then mommy and daddy got mad because he was banging her, and they charged him with being a pedophile, or statutory rape type of stuff. That's not what I'm talking about. That is ridiculous that those guys get hammered because of that type of stuff. And I know a young man that happened to. He was like 18 and his girlfriend was 15 or 16. And then he went into the service. He was in the Navy. And those people need special help. Terrence Parker just said it. You're right, Terrence, and I agree 100%. I will happily shoot them in the head, and they get all the special help that they need, and they will guaranteed cure. Guaranteed cure. I guarantee you they'll never molest another child ever again. Guaranteed. That's the only guarantee you're ever going to get with those type of people. So that's I'm in the market for a sugar mama. There you go. That's too funny. But anyway, so, but it's like the whole situation that these people are out there and they're not being punished properly, in my opinion. But they're, like I said, they're all over there. Child molesters will not live past 3 days in prison. Well, they get taken care of in prison. You are absolutely right about that. But now what they have to do is they put them in a whole special housing unit just for pedophiles where they're locked down, where they're locked down for like 23 hours a day because they can't be in the general population because they would be killed. Yeah, people who do kids have a big problem and are sick. Absolutely, Donna Miller. You're 100% correct. Anybody that can look at a child, I mean, we've had cases here in New York, and I'm sure it's been around the country too, but where you have adult men have had sex with babies, and I'm talking, 6-8 month old babies. That's sick, guys. And they caught these people, and if they catch them like that, they should be put down. There shouldn't be any kind of question about it. Why feed them forever? They're no good to society, and you can't turn them back loose on society, but you can only lock them up for so long, But Ohio has a prison just for pedophiles. Practical. Somebody just. Hey, Louise Plain. Thank you very much, honey. Thank you Sorry, Lewis. Okay, I thought it said Louise. I'm sorry. Thank you, Lewis Payne. Thank you for that donation. I'm sorry. Read it wrong. Then I saw the picture, so my bad. But Alabama has passed a castration law for rapists and molesters. Good. But the thing is, like I said, if you have serial rapists out there too, it's not about sex for those guys. It's about power and control. So, again, I feel the same way as I do about pedophiles. They should be put down. You know, get your glasses. If I put my glasses on, Stace, I can't read here. I need my glasses for distance. So that's why I'm kicking into here so I can read this. I can read close up really well. But distance-wise, when I'm driving or something like that, that's what I need my glasses for. Chemical castration in Alabama. A Goody Life just said that one. But again, I like my idea better. You know, if it's a one guarantee thing, they'll never do it again. Cut their hands and their junk off, Smitty just said. Oh, that'd be one way to do it. Those who do any child under 13 should be put down. Caroline Jackson, I can't agree with you more. Absolutely. You know, I cannot agree with you more. And it just, like I said, when you have, you know, Cub Scout leaders, when you have priests putting themselves in a position to be close to kids, coaches, another one. How about, what's his name there, that was a defensive coordinator for Penn State? Oh my God, I can't think of his name. But he was a pedophile for little boys, and his home was backed right up to a school. Imagine that. Does anybody can remember what his name is? He was the Penn State's defensive coordinator, Jerry Sandusky. Yes, thank you very much. Yep, Jerry Sandusky. Yeah, and he's another sicko, and he got away with it forever and a day. You know, again, putting yourself in a position of power, and that's what they do. You know. Yeah, it's just it's a very, very sick world. There are sick people, and there's only one cure, and that's I'm telling you, that's the way I feel. I just I don't think that they should have the privilege to be on this earth if they do stuff like that. Again, and the same thing with serial rapists. You know, if somebody rapes somebody, you know, there's no excuse for that. There's absolutely no excuse for that. You know, and then when they besmirch the woman's character by the way she was dressed, maybe her lifestyle or what she was doing, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Nobody asked to be raped, ever. Women do the same thing, absolutely. Yep. Women do the same thing. I talked about that earlier in the chat here. There's a lot of women out there that are predator women that prey on young boys. They get off on, you know, getting these young boys. What amazes me is in this day and age with the texting and the cell phone pictures and all that type of stuff, and these people do this in high school, these teachers, and they're texting these people, these young children, and, you know, sending them all this type of stuff. It's just ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous, you know, and they think, what do they think, they're going to get away with it? Unbelievable. But, you know, it's, but like somebody like this, you know, Jeffrey Epstein, you know, somebody like him, he should be in jail and stay in jail and not get out. This is the second time, and he's trafficking underage girls. And so, you know, in Thailand, if you're caught stealing, they cut off your hand in public. If you're caught as a rapist or a pedophile, they publicly castrated. Well, good. And after they castrate him, they should let him bleed out. Again, like I said, there's only one cure. You know, there's only one cure. Don't get a phone for your young children. Yeah, but when you're, Janet, it's easier said than done. When you're talking about a 13, 14-year-old girl or boy, a lot of times they need to have a phone. My daughter didn't get her first phone until she was 13. And it was because at the time I was working nights and we were living up here, and I wanted her, if there was an emergency, to have a way to get a hold of me. So that's why I ended up getting her a phone at that point. So, yeah, Jared from Subway is another one. He knowingly slept with I think she was 16. And, you know, again, that's Epstein is trafficking them. Yes, he is. Yep. He's trafficking minors for sex. Yep. That's what he was charged with before, and he's just charged with it again. And I think they said there's like a treasure trove of information in his house there in New York City. I don't know if he's got billions. I know he's a billionaire, but like that building alone in New York City is worth, I think they said, $77 million. So, yeah, you know what they should do with that? They should take all of his money, and they should put it for programs to help children, male and female, that are victims of child abuse. They absolutely should do that. God will judge all the sinners. I have problems with killing I say thou shalt not kill, but I did not say shall not wound. Yeah, Todd Hendricks, I understand where you're coming from, but you know what? There needs to be an accounting. There needs to be a reckoning. And I'm going to tell you right now, when SHTF does happen, and it will, those type of people, they can't help. Well, I can't say they can't help. They won't stop themselves, I guess. So when I mean they can't help themselves, they'll continue to do what they've always done. Okay? But the difference is after SHTF, if anybody in my group, so I'm just going to put this out there. If you end up being in my group or you are part of my group and you are a pedophile, I would really highly suggest that you get out now, because if I catch you, I will put you down after an event happens. That's just going to be it. That is just going to be it. There's not going to be a trial. Nobody's getting locked up. Okay, it's going to be dealt with extreme prejudice, and that's what it should be. That's my feeling on it, guys. We coddle these people in this country. Everybody's got rights. Well, yeah. What about the rights of the children? What about the rights of the children not to have to go into court and look at that accuser in the eye and have to sit there and go on trial? What about them? People don't think about that. They think, well, they're little, they'll get over it. I'm telling you right now, when a child is abused, they never get over it. They carry that with them for the rest of their lives, and it does affect the rest of their lives. Now, they can move beyond it, but that will always, always be there, okay? It never goes away. And so my heart always goes out to kids like that. I just, it makes me sick what people do, so, but without the rule of law, there are many other psychos who will run freely in society during SHTF. You are correct. There's a lot of sick individuals out there that will do a lot of sick stuff after SHTF. And if you catch them, guys, and they're doing bad things, then you're going to need to deal with that. And you're going to have to make it right with yourself and make sure that you can sleep at night with what you had to do. But if you know that you did it for the greater good, I have no problem doing that. Only caring citizens will be able to stop them. You're right. Yep. Oh, what do we got here? It writes on the slates of youth forever. I don't understand the comment. I don't know what you mean by that. It will only get worse. It has been written. Well, you know what? Things have been getting progressively worse. I think that you are looking at a situation that what I think a lot of people don't understand is there's a lot of crazy stuff going on. When children are abused. Yeah, okay. All right, I got you now. Thank you. Yeah, it's unfortunate. It's with them forever. And it's very unfortunate. Yeah, unfortunately, only the lawyers will get the money. Yeah, you're probably right about that. Guys, if you haven't shot me a thumbs up yet, if you would do that, I would appreciate it. A lot of cops are pedos. Here's the thing, and I'm not going to say a lot. Are there? I'm sure that there are. In any job, okay, that you go through, you're going to have good and bad. So you're going to have good cops. I think for the most part, I think most of the cops try to be decent. I really do. I've dealt with a lot of cops, guys, I mean, I've had my swatting incident, as you know, and I dealt with the cops with that. And, interactions that I've had with the police officers. It's how you approach things, okay? If you come off like a cocky a-hole, that's how you're going to get treated, okay? So, but there's good cops, there's bad cops. There's good nurses, there's bad nurses. There's good doctors, there's bad doctors. There's good teachers, there's bad teachers. There's good principals, there's bad principals. It goes along that whole thing all the way, where no matter in any job that's out there, we've all had them. I've had great bosses, and then I've had bosses that were complete a-holes. Okay, I didn't generally stay at those jobs very long, but because I don't put up with a lot of crap. That's my tolerance for BS is very, very, very small. I wouldn't say that I'm a patient man in that aspect. But anyway, like I said though, like I've talked to you guys before, your biggest alcoholics are cops, because of what they have to do with what they have to deal with and what they see. They deal with it by drinking because that's socially acceptable. So you have a lot of cops that are alcoholics. Your biggest abuser of prescription medication are nurses. Why? Because we have access to everything. It's easy to get your hands on it if you want it. Like I said, I don't take squat, guys. I take no medications. So, it was never a temptation for me, but it wasn't my thing. But there's people that I have known that had that problem and got caught and they lost their license because of the drug addiction. So, it happens. You put okay, so you have a lot of, okay, you've seen this too. Your treasurer for different towns, they get caught embezzling. Why? Because they have access to that money and it's easy, okay? And so that temptation is too much, so they take some. It happens, guys. No matter what, if that temptation's there, certain people are going to try to take advantage of that. It's just the way it goes. If you are on meds, your time after SHTF is limited by how long your meds last. To a degree. I'm going to agree with you on that. If you are on life-saving medication, absolutely, your time's going to be limited. I agree with that. But with some of this stuff, there's other options out there. So if you can use alternative forms of medication to help you out with whatever issues that you have, then definitely do that. Exploited and missing children, please help the children. Yeah, there is a tremendous amount. Guys, think about all the time, okay? So here's something to think about too. A lot of runaways. So a lot of kids unhappy. They're maybe in foster care because their parents are a mess. So they go into foster care and they run away from home. And a lot of these kids are never seen from again. There are people out there preying on these kids. You look at, we had a young lady up here in Rochester, had gone down to Myrtle Beach in South Carolina. Drexler was her last name. And she was 16 years old. Now, her parents didn't know. They had told her no, she couldn't go, and she went anyway. Well, she was kidnapped and killed, okay? And they never found her body. And, it's pretty much been talked about that she was sexually assaulted by a group of men. They killed her, and they fed her to the crocodiles. I mean, these things happen all the time. I'm going to tell you what. I was a very, very overprotective father. Very overprotective. My daughter actually, and you may laugh at me at this, guys, but this is just the way I felt. She just, at 17, maybe a month ago, spent the night at a girlfriend's house for the first time. Her friends were always allowed to come to our house, spend the night at our house anytime. I never told her no. When she was younger and we lived in Greece, New York, she had two girls that were over to our house every single weekend. Every single weekend, them girls were at our house. But I knew they were safe. I knew what they were doing. I knew what was going on. Okay. So that's just the way I was. I did not let my child go spend a night at anybody's house because if something happened, then I would probably be in prison because I would not, I would not tolerate that. If somebody did something to my kids while they were at their house, they're going to get punished and it's probably going to be bad. And I'm probably going to go to jail. So, I just said avoid the situation. They could come here anytime they wanted to, and they did. And that's just the way we did it. And, Satanism is the root of all this. I don't agree with that, Kyle. I just think there's good people and there's bad people. There's just the way it is. You got people that just are sick individuals because of maybe things that happened to them, and they're mad at the world because with whatever happened to them, and that's why they do what they do. I don't think Satanism has it. I don't think they're out there worshiping the devil. I just think that there's evil people. You have good people. There are some people out there that are just inherently good, that try to be decent people in life, and So again, it's just like with anything else. There's good and there's bad, and then you got people in between. You got people riding that fence that they could steer this way off the fence or they could go the other way. It's all about choices. Smitty said, I think they can't handle rejection. I don't know if it's a matter of that. You look at a lot of people, a lot of these serial killers, okay? A lot of it, stem from abuse from their mom and stuff like that. And so they were angry with women. So they went out and they killed women. Okay. Or like in Ted Bundy's case, there was the girl that rejected him. And so he went out and he killed women that looked like her with the long brown hair. Overprotective mom of 2 boys, same deal. All the kids came to my house. I knew my kids were safe. Mountain Girl, exactly. And thank you again, hon, for that donation. I appreciate that. And that's exactly right. I'm always overprotective as well with my kids. And like I said, if anybody came to my house, I knew they were safe. Those parents knew that they were safe at my house because, and I was very, very straight up. I had one lady. I'm going to give you a great example. Okay. The one girl that my daughter hung out with, the mother came to me one day and she said, well, my daughter always spends the night at your house. How come you don't let your daughter spend the night at my house? And I said, okay, well, do you want to know why? And she said, sure. I said, you have your son living with you who's 19, correct? And she goes, yes. I said, and he smokes pot, correct? And she goes, well, yeah. I said, which you condone. Well, no, I don't condone it. I said, hold on a second. He lives under your roof and he smokes pot, correct? And she goes, yes. I go, then you condone it. I said, I'm not going to have my daughter around that be subjected to that. So that's not going to happen. And that was the end of that discussion. So, that's just the way I rolled. I was very, 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 very straightforward. If you asked me a question, I gave you the answer. And now Jeffrey Dahmer, he was just a very twisted individual. Some people are just, they're just not right. There's certain people that you can just tell are evil. And Jeffrey Dahmer, I think, was one of those. He was just always, messed up, I think. And, if they're torturing animals as little kids and they're killing animals, and like I said, some people are just twisted. And I think Jeffrey Dahmer was just one of those people that was just very, very twisted. And, and he dealt with his stuff with alcohol as well. I know that. I don't know if he did drugs or not, but I know he was an alcoholic. But he was a weirdo. I mean, with the stuff that he was doing, he was definitely a weirdo. John Wayne Gacy. Yeah, I remember him too. John Wayne Gacy. He was a sicko too. He was into little boys. What did they think that they found like 32 or 33 of them under the crawl space of his house? Very, very sick individual. And he lived a double life and people had no idea. I mean, he played a clown, and he lived that double life and he got away with it for a very, very long time. And they put him to death. 31 buried in his house. Or no, I think it was 33. I get one person saying 31, somebody saying 33. We know it's above 30. So, Amy Joyce just said, my brother survived an attack by Gacy. Wow. Very lucky. Very, very lucky because he was a very serious. So my bad, 33. Okay, so it was 33. Okay. But, you're talking about a seriously twisted, sick individual. And people had no idea. No idea, Yeah, John Wayne Gacy. That's right. Yep. I said it. Must have said something. I said it wrong. But anyway, I knew you guys know who I meant. He was up in Chicago. But, yeah, very, very sick dude. But again, you just don't know. Charles Manson, look at him. There's another one. He had people completely BS'd and thinking that he was, the Jesus Christ. And but again, so you just never know. He was mentally ill as a child, could not see into his eyes. He was void in a dark Aram to go. I don't know. Oh, Jim Jones, there's another one. Absolutely. Used religion and had all those people kill themselves. Yep. He was a sicko too. There's a lot of twisted people that people will follow. You look at the Heaven's Gate group, if you guys remember them, when Halley's Comet came, a bunch of them all killed themselves. So, just some very, very sick and twisted people out there. And if they get into a position of power and they got control over people, and that's what they'll do, they'll manipulate them and have them kill people for them. David Koresh, That's a different situation. David Koresh, that whole situation was totally, totally different. I don't think that he was any kind of. They portrayed him out to be that way afterwards, but I don't think that that was the case. John Walsh, Adam's father, is the one who started the organization exploited missing children. Yes, yep, John Walsh. His son was kidnapped and killed, and I think they found his son's head. Is all they found. So, yep, there are church pastors with this pedo disease. Yeah, there's a lot of that happens. They put themselves in a position, again, where they, in a position of power, they have access to children, and then they can do what they want. And they're very, very good at grooming these children and getting these children, to do what they want. And it's unfortunate. Yeah, we could get into a whole thing on Waco. That whole thing was the ATF got their butts handed to them, and they got embarrassed, and they went in there and they killed all those people. And I really don't think I don't think Koresh was any kind of pedophile. I don't think he was, molesting the kids at all. I really don't think so. But they portrayed him out to be that way to turn public opinion against him. So there was way too many people there that if there was issues, they could have done something about it. But Ed Gein, yeah, he was a twisted individual too down in Texas. Yep, exactly. There's a lot of them, guys. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. Like I said, the best thing that we can do is to keep an eye on our kids, try to protect them as much as we possibly can, keep them safe. And if we can do that, that is absolutely the best thing that we could possibly do. Guys, if you haven't done so yet, if you could shoot me a thumbs up, I would appreciate that. Yeah, Janet Reno had those people murdered in Waco. Yeah, they tried to say that they set the thing on fire themselves, which I never believed any of that at all. Never believed that. Because they were in there for how many days? And then all of a sudden they're going to kill themselves by setting a place on fire? So, way too much crap with that whole thing. Who is this singer? I'm trying to think. Oh, my God. Some singer from the UK. He got kicked out of Thailand because he was a pedophile. Oh, my God. I can't think of his name. He was popular back in the 70s, early 80s. Oh, he had like one big hit, and I can't think of that name of the... No, not Boy George. No, not him. Ziggy Stardust. That's the one, I think. I'm pretty sure, Denise. I think you're right. What was that song that he... trying to think. What was that song? Gary Glitter. That's the one I'm thinking of. Gary Glitter. You're right. Yep, that's the one. Gary Glitter is a pedophile, and he was kicked out of Thailand. He's a sicko, and why he's still on the streets, unbelievable. I have no idea. Yep, Gary Glitter. What was that song that he sang? I can't remember the name of the song. Somebody could remember that. Mike Knife just said Catholic priests are pedophiles. Not all of them. Not all of them, Mike, but they're there, unfortunately. Gas station at Area 51 is going to make bank. Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. Do you really want to hurt me? No, that was Boy George saying that one. Oh, Gary Glitter passed on. I don't forgive pedophiles. If there is a hell, there's a special place in hell for pedophiles. Gary Glitter, Rock and Roll Part 2 hit song. Okay. Yeah, I knew he had like one big hit song, but yeah, it's like I said, unfortunately, like I said, they should be locked up forever or put it on an island someplace where they can't hurt kids, where there's no kids there, just a bunch of them, and then give them like enough food to feed half of them. Let them fight it out. Tommy Selby from the UK was a pedo. Oh, there's a lot of them. There's a lot of them, guys. Aspen Island. There you go. I like that. I vote the island. Yeah. Have them on a big island and give them enough food to feed half of them that are there. And let them see how they do. Paul Glad, yep, of sex offenses in the 70s and 80s against girls between the ages of 8 and 13. Yep, okay, Oregon Sunshine, thank you for that information. Yeah, I knew he was a sicko, very, very sick individual. And I'm sure it continued on long after that, too, because they don't stop. They don't all of a sudden just one day go, yeah, I don't want to do it anymore. Do You Want to Touch Me? Maybe that's the song. Bill Norwood just said that. I think you could be right. I think that might be the song. I'm not exactly sure anymore, guys. I'd have to go back and look, but it could be everything that you guys said. I'm sure he had more than one song out there. But anyway, so we got off on that tangent, right? But so it's just, but the things that are amazing to me with all the stuff that's really important going on, that they're going to throw up these stupid tweets with the president and these, 4 freshman congresswomen, and the Area 51 thing is what's dominating the news. So that makes me very, very concerned that they're not really focusing on a lot of the true problems that are going on. So they're trying to normalize all pedos and gays, trans. I think it's evil. Well, pedophiles, I know they're trying to make that not like it's a big deal, which is disgusting to me. As far as homosexuals and transsexuals and those type of things, I don't care what those people do because they're adults. If they're an adult, then they can do whatever they want to do. I do not believe that homosexuality is a choice. I think you're born with it. And that's my opinion. You guys can have a different opinion, and that's great. I'm just giving you what my opinion is of that. But as far as pedophiles go, I think there's only one cure for them. We've talked about that. The only one was a wonder. One was the wanderer. Yeah, I don't remember all the things. But, yeah, Lori just said homosexuality is not a choice. And I agree with you. I don't believe it's a choice either. I knew a guy that I went through nursing school with, guys, okay? And I want you to think about this. Now, when I went through nursing school, this gentleman was a black gentleman, and he was homosexual, and nicest guy in the freaking world. I mean, him and I were actually really good friends. But I said to myself, okay, so here he's already black, so, somewhat discriminated against in that time frame, okay? And if it was a choice, he's going to choose to be gay on top of it, so he can have like 2 strikes against him walking into the room. I don't think anybody would ever do that. It doesn't, nobody makes that choice. Well, let me see. I think I'm going to do this so that people will kick the crap out of me and hate me, and my family will disown me. I just don't buy that. I don't. So, but like I said, that's my opinion. You guys are entitled to your own. But so yeah, that's definitely interesting. But there's a lot of crazy stuff going on in the world. I'm telling you, and I think we got a lot more things to worry about. Let's see. Hold on a second. I saw a comment I wanted to go back here and read. I think homos get abused as kids. No, it's not about that. I don't believe that. I mean, some of them probably. That can happen. Absolutely, that can happen. But like I said, now you look at in prisons, guys. There's a lot of forced homosexuality in prison. It's not like they go in there and say, hey, you know what? Now I'm in prison. I think I'll be gay. It doesn't work like that. But there is a lot of people that are turned out, if you will, is the term that they use, in prison. And it happens a lot. They're weaker, they're smaller. They do what they have to do to survive. That happens all the time. It's unfortunate, but it's true. Does that make it right? No. But it happens, okay? So, again, it's... many who come out of the lifestyle, if they chose to come out of it, then they had a choice to do it. And Sunshine, I don't agree with that. You don't just it's you just don't quit. It's okay. Here's okay. We're gonna reverse psychology a second, and Sunshine. So you're a heterosexual woman. All of a sudden, 5 years from now, you come out now you want to be a lesbian. Is that a choice you made, or were you a lesbian the whole time and just hid it because of the way the stigma of society and stuff like that? And then after a while, you did the lesbian thing for a while, and then nope. You know what? I think I'll go back to being straight now. It's not. It doesn't work like that. You are what you are, and it's okay. Like I said, as long as it's with another consenting adult. Like I said, I don't throw judgment on people. Paul Cox said, "Have you seen Story Time with the tranny? They're pushing it on the youth." Now that I'm going to tell you what. I'll be honest with you, Paul. I do not agree with that. I don't think that should be in the schools. I did see that, and I don't think that that's right. That absolutely, I don't think that they should be doing that. Kids are going to be exposed to all kinds of stuff. They don't need to be having kindergarten sitting down with the tranny time, story time in school. I don't think that should happen. That's just my personal opinion. There is different things in the school that happened that when Heather was at school, they had that I opted her out of because she didn't need to go do that type of stuff. Like they had the whole thing on heroin and stuff like that. Well, I educated my daughter. She didn't need to go listen to that garbage, so I would opt her out of that, okay? But listen, okay, and Sunshine, you have your opinion, and that's great. You think it's a choice, fantastic, okay? I don't think it's a choice. That's my opinion. We're going to have to agree to disagree, and that's okay. That's okay, all right? So that's just, we're going to just leave it at that. Again, I respect, guys, listen, I'm telling you right now, I may not agree with you, okay, on everything. You may not agree with me on everything, but I will always defend your right to believe what you want to believe as long as you do the same for me, okay? And 100%, I will support anybody's view. If you want to think a certain way, that is your choice. You can think whatever way you want to think. I'm not going to change your mind. I'm just going to give you my opinion of it. If you want to debate, great, we can have a debate. You're not going to change my mind. So, that's just the reality of that. But that's okay. So anyway, I'm not going to say what you said on there, Mike Knife. No, it's not nice. So anyway, I want you to remember something, guys. We're going to talk about this real quick before we jump off of here. We are Legion. So when I say that, what do I mean by that? As preppers, as off-gridders, all of us can make a difference, okay? We are a huge, huge family of people. We can truly make a difference in this world, especially when SHTF happens, which I believe that it will. The way things are going now, it's just a matter of when. What's going to be the spark that sets it all off, okay? But we are going to be the ones that really, truly can make a difference in a lot of people's lives. We really can. And I think we need to be prepared to do that. So when I say we are Legion, we are many. There's a lot of us out here, guys, a lot of us, okay? And so we really need to remember that, and we really can make a difference. Also, guys, I got to ask before we jump off of here is I want to ask, where's everybody from tonight? Let's get this part. Let's do this real quick. Let's get off this homosexual thing real quick and get into where's everybody from tonight. We got North Carolina, Maine, Tilson, New York, Tampa, Florida, Chicagoland, Ohio, South Carolina, Colorado, Ohio, Michigan, Nashville, Nebraska, San Diego, California, LeBron, Florida, Mobile, Alabama, Indiana, Colorado, Long Island, Oklahoma, Louisiana, Florida, oh God, going quick, North Carolina, Michigan, Belfast, Ireland, very cool, Maine, Northwest Ohio, Raleigh, North Carolina, Sweden, very cool. South Jersey, Alberta, Canada, very nice. West Coast, Southeast Pennsylvania, Georgia, Ontario, Canada. North, let's see, Bradford, Pennsylvania, Southeast Michigan, Georgia. Raina, Sac, Canada. I'm not sure if I said that right. Probably not. Philly, Florida, Wisconsin, New Mexico, Arizona, Iowa, Alabama, Jacksonville, Jacksonville, North Carolina, Maine, Hawaii, very cool. Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Fort Lauderdale, Florida, Pennsylvania, New Zealand, very nice. Lancaster, Pennsylvania, Minnesota, very cool. Cleveland, Ohio, Connecticut, Maryland, Northwoods, and Minnesota. We got Nashville, Minnesota, Clover, South Carolina, Georgia. So again, guys, we're all over the place. So when I say we are Legion, it's because we are all over the place. We can make a big difference. We really, really can. If you haven't yet, guys, if you could shoot me that last thumbs up here before we jump off of here. And remember, guys, we are all in this together. Okay, that's really, really important. We can make a difference. We are a huge family. We can work together. Try to treat each other decently. I think that's the most important thing. Okay. Also, remember, guys, hug and kiss the ones you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow's not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life. So it's really, really important that you tell the people that you care about every single day. Okay. Also, remember, guys, STD. It's one step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you're trying to do, whatever you're trying to accomplish, you can do it. The only one that can stop you from getting there is yourself. Don't listen to the negativity. Don't listen to people trying to put you down. Stay focused. Stay happy. You know what? Be happy in spite of people. I think that's important. And I'm going to tell you, and here's the other thing I wanted to share real quick before we jump off here. The best revenge that you can get in life against anybody that has done you wrong or anybody that's treated you poorly is to live well. Think about that, guys. To live well and be happy. Because they don't want you to be happy. They don't want you to live well. So the best revenge you can get against anybody that's hurt you or done you wrong is to live well, be happy, and let that go. Let it go. Forgive them. Okay? So anyway, guys, I will see you all later. Thank you, everybody, for joining me tonight. I appreciate it. You guys are the best. I will see you guys tomorrow, and I hope everybody's doing well. Okay? Prepper Nurse 1, out for now.